Okay, we are live. So, hello and welcome everyone to the fifth episode of SEO Surgery in India. Well, I'm Nitin Manchanda, working as product owner for SEO at Tobago, favorite thing in this world. To host this episode, thank you so much to Semrush for this opportunity. And today we got three more experts with us who will be talking about three different websites with you and sharing their SEO thoughts on that. And I'm super excited about this episode because I have like three amazing speakers from all over the world. We have Jason from Australia, Deepak from India, and Craig, who is super famous, and I think most of you already know him from UK. And yeah, we'll be talking about three websites. In a while, I'll introduce them. And yeah, so that's the plan for the day. And the websites that we'll be talking about today are t2india.com, which is an online travel service provider. And then we'll be talking about Book My Show, which is ticket booking website for movies, events, and sports. And then we'll be talking about Blog Raja, which is a WordPress blog because we wanted to take something different and something exciting. So Blog Raja is one of the biggest blogs apparently in technology, health, sports, and travel stuff. So yeah, we'll be talking about WordPress so that all our visitors who are working on WordPress blogs can hear something interesting that they can do on their blogs as well. All right, so now without wasting any time, I'll move to the next round of which is introduction of our amazing guest for the day. So I'll start with Jason. Well, Jason is co-founder and search director in Bespoke, which is an SEO agency based out of Australia. And now I would like to request Jason if you could introduce yourself quickly.
Hi guys, thanks for having me. My name is Jason, and I've been doing SEO for the last 10 years. And just about 4 years ago, decided to niche into the e-commerce SEO field. And I've been running and building up my little agency Bespoke for the last 4 years. And we work with some of the biggest e-commerce players in Australia. That's me.
Oh, thank you so much, Jason. And now we have our next guest who is from UK, Craig Campbell, who is in SEO industry for quite a while now. He is owning his own company called Craig Campbell SEO, and he's SEO consultant there for 15 years and a few months now. And I think most of you know him, but yeah, if you could, Campbell, if you could introduce yourself for the rest of the visitors. So please,
thanks, Nitin.
say the audience.
My name's Craig. I am a UK-based SEO consultant or trainer. Been in this game for 15, 16 years now, and I have branched out into doing training for agencies and trying to help people learn from all of the mistakes I've made over the years. So it's been a steep learning curve for me, and it's something I think that I want to focus on in terms of putting something back and helping others. So I focus a lot on training these days, and hopefully that's something I can do for the foreseeable future.
Cool. Thank you so much, Craig. Yeah, thank you so much. All right, so now moving to the next case, last but not the least, we have Deepak with us, who is blogger at digitaldeepak.com. So Deepak, could you please introduce yourself as well?
So hey everyone, Deepak here from digitaldeepak.com, and I blog about digital marketing, and I also run an agency called Pixel Track. So we just started providing digital marketing services to clients. So until now we have been focusing on blogging, content marketing, and we do sell digital marketing training courses as well. So Digital Deepak is one of the top digital marketing blogs in India, and it has grown really fast in the past few years. I'm looking forward to an exciting digital marketing journey in India into the next decade.
Cool. Thank you so much, Deepak. So that was about our experts for the day. And now before we move to the next round, which is the actual stuff for which you all are waiting eagerly. So I would like to thank you all for the great response that you have shown in last few episodes, and for this one. And in fact, for this one, apparently we got the maximum number of registrations than if you compare with previous episodes. So apparently like 800 plus people registered for it, which is amazing. I'm so excited about it. And so thank you so much once again. And again, which is the format of this episode is we have picked 3 websites and we're talking about that. And yeah, so all the other visitors who have submitted their websites for this episode and their websites are not picked, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, enjoy the show. So to start with, I would like to invite Jason, who will be talking about t2india.com, which is an online travel service provider, and including tickets, travel packages, and much more. So Jason can talk more about it along with his SEO findings of the site. Jason, the stage is all yours.
All right. Hopefully you guys can see my screen. I just prepared a couple of slides. I only have 8 minutes, so I'm going to fly through it. So if you have any questions, please just put it into the chat box and Nitin will sort it all out. So t2india.com is this site here. So this is what it looks like. So basically, as Nitin mentioned, it's a travel website that sells tour packages, hotel bookings, car hires, travel guides, exhibitions, and so on and so forth. So what I'm going to cover today is the 3 red pillars over here. So these are the typical SEO pillars that I look at when I'm auditing a website. So everything starts off with keyword research, and then you flow on to on-site and technical. So today I'm not going to cover the off-site optimization or link building element of it, just because there's no time for it. And there's a lot of quick wins in those 3 pillars right there. So keyword research and targets. It's so important. So obviously this segment is hosted by Semrush. I have to give them a plug. If you have not checked out the Keyword Magic tool, it's brilliant. It's one of the best keyword research tools out there that recently came out and launched. It's still in beta though, but it delivers really good data. So what I did here was I just put in the keyword India, and then next steps I did was I filtered it by holiday. So it shows me all the keywords related to Indian holidays or India holidays. As you can see highlighted in this red box here, the India holidays has about 3,600 searches per month, which is quite good. Holidays in India, which is a variation of the same keyword, is 2,400 per month. So what you guys should be doing is, start collecting and recording down all these different keyword ideas. Next type of keyword or category of keyword is tours. As you can see, what I did here was I filtered all the keywords, and for Semrush to show me all keywords related to tours. And you can see India tours, 1,600, India tour packages, 290, tours of India, 290, so on and so forth. And then I did the same thing for travel. And then I did it for hotels. And then the process that I want T2 India to go through is, the entire site isn't really optimized. There's a lot of opportunities around keyword targeting. When I scrolled the website, all the title tags, meta description tags, H1 headings were all over the place. So start from scratch, and start with the keyword research process. Using the same methodology that I did with using the Keyword Magic tool. Rinse and repeat for all your related products and services. And what you want to do is collate all your keyword ideas into a spreadsheet and shortlist all relevant keywords. Don't ignore low volume keywords, because those will actually give you, lower volume keywords tend to have a lower competition, which gives you the ability to rank higher much quicker. And then, at the end of the entire process, you should end up with, thousands and thousands of keyword ideas. But don't worry, and then you start grouping them together into semantically relevant groups, as I did before. Group all tour-related keywords together, group all holiday keywords together, hotels keywords together, car hire keywords together, and what you're essentially trying to do now is group into semantically relevant pods that you can use to optimize your website next. So now that you've done your keyword research process, what you want to do then is now to use your learnings and findings to optimize the website. And now we move on to on-site. So as I mentioned, the T2 India website is all over the place. When you crawl the website, there's no structure. It's not really intuitive. I got lost when I was navigating around, and I bet users and Google bot gets frustrated too when they try to crawl the website or navigate around the website. So the whole notion of having good information architecture looks something like this. So from the home page, you have your category pages and the silo pages. So if you imagine this part here to be a tour pod or tour category pages, and then you've got tours of India over here, and then you got tours of New Delhi and Mumbai and all the different cities that you're targeting. You're basically creating really intuitive navigational structure for Google to crawl the website. So good websites are built on solid foundations and intuitive information architecture. You take your keyword research findings and then you start optimizing the eye of the website. Keyword research will help you name each of these categories, and you'll know which keywords to target for each page. And then it helps you create little silos that are super, super hyper relevant. And it allows you to visualize the structure of the website. So if I were to ask anyone within the T2 India organization, I said, where does this page, tours of, I don't know, Maharaja, New Delhi page go? People will go, oh, yep, it sits underneath the tour packages page. Right now, you can't really do that. So it also helps with keyword mapping and optimization, which I'll cover in the next slide. So here's an example of how I would apply keyword research to the current IA or to restructure the pages on the current website. So on the home page, for example, I would target holidays in India, which has 2,400 searches per month, or India holidays as a variation. So those two combined will give you at least 5,000 searches per month. And then I start breaking it down into individual silos. For example, hotels in India, 1,000 searches per month. And then I break it down further. So the second level from hotels is hotels in Mumbai, and then hotels in New Delhi, so on and so forth. You repeat the same process for all your different cities that you're targeting. And then the big one, tours. You want to make sure it's /tours and then /South India tours, Golden Triangle tours. And then the travel guides, T2 India has a lot of travel guides, and they had some issues with crawlability, which I'll cover next. But if I'm trying to, if I explain it here, what you're trying to do is create really intuitive URL structures for Google to crawl and understand. And then from there, once you get this structure and the IA correct in the Excel spreadsheet, next thing you do is just put title tags, meta description tags, H1 headings, and you start building the spreadsheet out and optimizing your website page by page. So for example, title tags, what you want to do is you aim for 60 characters tops. Don't keyword stuff. Have your primary keyword at the start of the tag. Take advantage of branding. So T2 India, I assume, is a very popular website in India, hopefully. So you want to make sure you leverage that. Make sure every single page has unique title tags, and also consider click-through rate. So using call to actions like book now, save 50% or something like that. So for example, hotels in New Delhi for that specific page, book luxury and budget accommodation T2 India. So you're leveraging the brand, you're targeting the keyword at the start, and using call to actions here. Same goes for the meta description, 155 characters max, don't keyword stuff, unique for every single page, use call to actions, USPs, so on and so forth. There's some examples right there. Now, once you have your structure, you want to make sure that it's crawlable. So this is an example of a travel website based in Australia. It's Flight Centre. You can see the tours page. There's a direct, the whole best practice of every page should be 2 clicks away or 2 to 3 clicks away from the home page. This structure here, having this mega menu, allows for that. The T2 India website currently does not have a drop-down menu, so there's a lot of sub-pages and sub-sub pages that Google can't crawl. And when I ran a Screaming Frog crawler, they were all orphaned. So once you have the structure right, what I want you to think about is trying to introduce a mega menu, a drop-down menu, so that users as well as search engines can crawl down to the pages that they're meant to crawl. Technical. If you don't already use any crawling tools, Semrush has a really intuitive and user-friendly site audit tool. Here's what I ran for 5,000 pages, and you can see there's a lot of issues technically. There's a lot of errors, a lot of warnings. There's some issues with international SEO setup as well, which I'll run through really quickly. But being a diehard SEO, I have to use Screaming Frog. It's my crawler of choice, which looks something like this. It only costs like, I don't know, 70 odd pounds, something like that for the year. It's a really good tool that you can crawl like Googlebot, and it gives you hints and ideas of where you can improve stuff. So off the bat, what I noticed with T2 India is it has crawl and JavaScript issues. So I assume the tour packages is your most important page, as you can see here. This is what I see. This is what a day-to-day user sees. But this is what Google has cached the page. As you can see, there's it's blank. There's no content. Google can't get to these pages here, which is your different tours that you offer where people can buy and purchase. So Google can't actually crawl to this level of pages, which is a bit unfortunate. To expand on that, you can see this is the, if I go back a step, this is this package here, this little tour package that you guys are selling. When I click through, this is what I see. But then when you take the tour name and you search in Google, it's actually not indexed, which shows that it has some crawl and indexation issues. So I would look at the entire platform over here on this section here and make sure that is rendered properly and you don't use JavaScript to power it. So Google says that they can actually crawl and execute JavaScript, but I think it's still 50-50. You got to help Google out sometimes and pre-render the page if you're using that kind of technology. But yeah, you want to make sure that when Google caches a page, you want to make sure that link and that section there has content. URL structure is a big one. This is again the same tour package. That is the current URL. It's not very intuitive. It has a lot of URL parameters, which is not very search engine friendly. A better option would be this. Think about the information architecture optimization. So this is best practice. You want to make sure it's search engine friendly. You can then include keywords like tour packages in here, and then the name of the package that you have on offer. It's more readable, it's more user-friendly. If, for example, if I were to share this URL, I say, hey, Craig, you want to go on the tour with me? Check out this page, and he's on the phone. I have to spell out that URL to him. He's going to go crazy. So a better option would be to say, hey, Craig, just go here, www.t2india.com, and I can spell it out, tour packages, UNESCO World Heritage Sites of India, PC 637. It's much more intuitive like that. Use dashes as opposed to underscores. There's a lot of underscores all around the website that's being used. And as you can see here, there's a lot of mixed cases as well. I would avoid using mixed cases. Just use lowercase if you can force it to do so. And then minimize the amount of URL parameters used. URL parameters will screw up all your crawl budget issues on the website. So you want to make sure you move from that type of URL structure to a more search engine friendly URL structure. Title tags. So there are a lot of duplicates, lots and lots. I think that's because of just the way the website's been built. As you can see, all these different packages and tour packages here, they're all unique, but the title tags are all identical. So Google's going to treat this as duplicate content, and then will only show ever, just a couple variations of the same page. So you want to make sure that every single title tag and on every single page is unique. The same tips apply when I went through the IA optimization section. Meta descriptions, same thing. There's a lot of duplicates. I think it's the same issue that you guys have with the platform that you guys have built this on. So I think fixing title tags and meta description tags, making sure every single page is unique, is going to give you really good bang for your buck. Meta keywords. I highly recommend that you just remove that tag entirely. No search engines use them anymore. Maybe some, third-party, really old-school search engines still use meta keywords. So Google, Bing, and Yahoo, they all don't use it. So I would just remove it entirely, because what you risk doing is competitors can just crawl your website and see what keywords you're targeting. You're just opening up the doors to what you're optimizing for, which is not good. Images. So travel is all about images, because images help inspire people, help give information to people about where they're traveling to and stuff like that. You've currently got a lot of images that do not have image alt text, which is really unfortunate, because that means Google won't be able to understand what the image is about and won't be able to rank them appropriately in Google Images. So I would recommend that you relook at the image file name, making sure it's descriptive. So rather than using weird alphabets and numbers, you actually spell it out like New Delhi tour sightseeing.jpg, and make sure that the file size is for web quality. Don't megapixel wide, 5,000 pixel wide images. You want to make sure you scale it to the right size before you upload it to your site. So general rule of thumb is to aim for less than 100 kilobytes, and obviously use image alt text. Internal redirects. This is a big no-no when it comes to crawlability of a website. As you can see here, when I crawl the website, there are about 2,500 internal redirects. So what this means is Google will crawl through an internal link, and it will then force through a redirect to get to the final destination. So what you're doing there is you're diluting the amount of page rank or link juice that's being passed around, because at every hop of a redirect, you dilute the strength of that specific link. So always avoid internal redirects. So what I would do is, using a tool like Screaming Frog or Semrush site audit tool, find out where those internal redirects are and try and fix them up so that it points directly to their final destination rather than relying on the redirect. Structured data, huge. Without structured data, you won't be able to trigger rich snippets like this. So for the travel industry, it's so important. So the amount of reviews and prices like that is so important when people are shopping around. When someone searches for tours of India, this is, if you have rich snippets, it's just going to pop, and people are just going to draw their eyes to the rich snippets and just click through to it to find out more. So here's an example of Intrepid Travel, another travel website based in Australia. You can see they've got structured data everywhere. So they even structured data on their website to say that, hey, we're a travel agency website. They've even got organization markup, breadcrumbs, products, information about the travel, map, structured data. It's so good. So what I highly recommend you to read through the schema.org and implement structured data across your website just to take advantage of the rich snippets. XML sitemaps, as you can see here, t2india.com/sitemap.xml. You're obviously manually generating these via the free sitemap generator tool. And you can see here, that's for the homepage, and it hasn't been updated for, what's that, 4 years now. So I think it's time to refresh it, make sure that you use dynamically generated XML sitemap, because that's just going to help Google understand new pages and come and crawl the website more frequently. And then, you currently have one website, one XML sitemap for your entire website. So I highly recommend that you break out your XML sitemaps into individual separate sitemaps, such as like this here. So I would say your tours will have one XML sitemap, your travel guides will have one XML sitemap, your hotels will have one XML sitemap. So that way it will help you understand where there's problematic areas. So if there's, if you submit it, let's just pretend that this is a tours page and we've submitted 5,000 URLs and Google only indexed 2,000. So this is going to give you the extra visibility and go, okay, yeah, that section there has some issues, so I might want to investigate it even more. So without breaking out the XML sitemap, really hard for you to understand the indexation rates. So that's what I would highly recommend that you do. Page speed, as we all know, speed of the load speed of a website is so important. You can see here for the home page, it's okay, it's not too bad, but on a mobile, it's actually really slow. And then I looked into category page with your tour packages, it's also really slow. So there's a lot of quick wins that you can do, such as like optimizing images, leveraging browser caching, sometimes moving into a better server actually helps, and minification of code and stuff like that. There's a lot of good tips that you can get from Google's own PageSpeed Insights tool. This is a really good resource. So makefastwebsites.com. Follow the steps on these. I can guarantee you can shave off at least 2-3 seconds of your page load time if you implement 50% of what they recommend on this website. International SEO setup. So I noticed that on the website you've got different websites in different countries, targeting different countries and different CCTLDs, and it's a bit messy. That's why in the initial screenshot of the Semrush site audit tool, there's a lot of issues around international SEO setup. So generally there are 3 setups. You can use CCTLDs,
hey, Jason,
which is,
we are running out of time. Sorry about that.
Last two slides. I promise.
Right.
So the most popular is to use subdirectories. And then I would check your current setup with site audit tool. Examples of well-optimized websites that I highly recommend that you copy or mimic or refer to. That's it from me.
Thank you so much, Jason. We're running out of time because of you. But yeah, it was super interesting. That's why I didn't interrupt as well, but I'm sorry.
Yep. It's okay.
All right. So now moving to the next guest, I would like to now request Craig to share his findings about the website. I mean, all the findings that probably Jason missed here or couldn't cover because of time. So now, Jason, stage is all yours. Oh, sorry, Craig, it's your turn.
No worries, thanks a lot. I'll try and keep it shorter than Jason's. So I've been given the bookmyshow.com website, which is apparently, well, not apparently, you can see by the stats here on my screen that these guys get a hell of a lot of organic search, paid search, have a lot of backlinks and stuff like that. And, by all accounts, they're getting good, steady traffic. Close to 30,000 keywords based on position 1 to 3 in page 1. And they're a huge brand, massive website. And, the website looks like this. These guys, you can book movie tickets, plays, sports and events and stuff like that. And, just a big ticketing website, a massive website, gets massive amounts of traffic. But the first thing I always do is obviously check out what these guys are doing, and it's going to be very hard for me to be critical of this particular website because of the sheer search it gets, but there is no such thing as a perfect website. So what I've chose to do is do a site audit on the website to see if there's anything that we can look at to further develop this website. And I have used Semrush, an auditing tool that I particularly I do use other auditing tools as well, just to verify that the information is correct. But what I'm going to focus on is the kind of technical side of things, site speed, and stuff like that, and go through some of these errors in the 8 minutes that I've got to talk about this particular website, and hopefully it would help them further advance the great rankings that these guys already have. So I've run a quick speed check on the website, Book My Show, and I use gtmetrics.com and also use pingdom.com. There are many other tools out there as well, but you can see that this particular website has a fairly slow load speed here. You can see it's 9.12 seconds, which isn't great. You want this, it's not outrageously bad or anything, but it's something that is hugely important as site speed these days and often ignored. And Jason covered a lot of the stuff in his last slide there, talking about browser caching, minifying CSS and JavaScript and all of this kind of stuff, and self-scaled images. There's so many things you can do here to improve your site speed. And obviously you want to improve your site speed, because it's possibly a ranking factor. But obviously people landing on your website, you don't want them to bounce back off because it takes 9 seconds to load. And that's then going to impact your click-through rate. So site speed is vital. And I think for you guys, you have to look at the site speed. It does look fairly sloppy on that respect. And something that you definitely have to get your developers and stuff to look at. You may be, I don't know what type of server you're on, you may have to scale up in your server, but certainly adding browser caching and minimizing the redirects and stuff like that, and even potentially using something like Cloudflare, or if you're not already using that, can certainly shave off a few seconds of your load speed there. But I'm going to go back to the Semrush audit as well. So obviously it's flagging up here, the crawlability is 68%. Again, something, Jason touched on in his previous slide. Google's got to be able to crawl your pages efficiently to get to the information that you want to rank well for. You've got a wee issue with your HTTPS migration. You're showing some pages with mixed content. Again, something you want to look at. But I'm just going to go through some of these other areas. Your website, duplicate content is not ideal on any website. You do seem to have a lot of pages that are flagging up as duplicate content. You want to probably look at that, and potentially if it's pages saying pretty much the same thing, you can block these out through your kind of robots text and stuff like that. You want to look at technical SEO and deal with that. Again, duplicate meta descriptions and stuff like that are not ideal. You want to sort some of that stuff out. The most important things though are, you've got 78 internal links that are broken. So I would suggest that you do, some kind of audit, whether it's Semrush or other tools, and sort out kind of 404 errors and stuff on your website. So, broken links, external images are broken. You've got 4 pages. There's not a huge amount wrong with this particular website. This is all kind of, in terms of the size of the website, fairly decent, to be fair. But you do have some other stuff as well. You're not tagging your images. And this thing here is really important. Make sure that your HTTPS migration's done properly. You don't want, you have to go in and fix all your links to make sure it is all HTTPS on your website. Otherwise, it's going to flag up as warnings. You don't want to have temporary redirects on your website, because you're telling Google that this link may come back and it's not going to de-index it. So there's not real any particular reason you should be using temporary redirects. And you've got some hreflang issues there. Again, these will all flag up. It's not across your whole website because your website is in really good shape. But there are certain pages there that you have to look at to address some of these problems. And yeah, overall, this particular website does perform really well. For me personally, it ranks really well. And I think you have to improve your site speed and always be the best site you can. No one has a website that is 100% perfect, but you have to look at site speeds and some of the kind of technical aspects of SEO, because although your on page is great, people very much miss out on a lot of this technical stuff, and it's these small things that can make a massive difference. And I know it's a tedious job, tagging all your images and stuff like that. And it's debatable how effective tagging your images are. However, no one wants to have broken links or too much text within the title tags, pages that are slow loading, and all this kind of stuff. So, overall, this website is a great website, gets a huge amount of traffic. But if we go back to the overview of the website, this particular domain name, the brand, Book My Show, is massive, and a lot of the search is based around the kind of brand as well. So a lot of traffic comes because of who you are. So I'm sure that you can look to improving your SEO. As I say, no one is a perfect website, but in terms of everything else, backlinks and stuff like that, you guys have 3,400 different IP, or 3,700, sorry, referring IPs. So your backlink profile looks fairly healthy, and you're doing a lot of paid search. So I think you're doing a lot of the right things with this particular website. And you have to just look at site speed and the technical elements that you can brush up on, and I think you'll be able to kind of carry on and continue to progress. And that's what we always want, to be the best we can be. So I would certainly recommend that you look at site speed for this particular website. So that's pretty much me, I think, for my 8 minutes. So I'll pass you guys back to Nitin, and he can,
Thank you so much, Craig, for covering a lot in 8 minutes, and I really appreciate your time accuracy. 8 minutes, wow. On target. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate that. All right. So now I would like to invite Jason or Deepak if you have something to add on Book My Show, which probably Craig missed because he was too punctual, unlike Jason. Guys, do you have anything to add here? Or should we move to the next section?
I do have something to add. So this is being a bit nitty-gritty and stuff like that. So your robots.txt file, let me just share my screen really quickly so we can see it. See, it's non-existent. So you might want to relook at where your robots.txt file and make sure that it's actually valid. So I'm looking at the in.bookmyshow.com though. So want to make sure that you have a robots.txt file just so you can control how Google crawls the website. So that's just my one tip. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much, Jason. Deepak, do you want to add something here? Okay, so we're moving ahead. All right, so now before we move ahead to the third website, I would like to answer a couple of questions here. So Valentin Magliano is asking, what is the name of the tool that Jason used for his stuff? So the tool that Jason used here was Semrush, site audit tool, and Screaming Frog. So these are the two tools he used here. And then there's a question from Jitesh, who's asking, we have implemented structured data on our website, but it doesn't reflect on Google search. And so how do we debug this, and how can we check it? What's the problem here, and how do we implement it correctly? So here, I think you can use Google structured testing tool. So that helps you understand how you have implemented your structured data. And then you can also check their guides to fix that. And yeah, I mean, I also faced this issue sometime back when I was in India. So I implemented structured data for my website, and Google was not showing that in on search engine result page with my with this results listings. So yeah, it happens, but there is no way you can request Google to prioritize it or something. So unfortunately, you can't do anything about it. But yeah, for testing and debugging, you can use this tool that Google has. And yeah. All right, so now moving to the final website of the day, which is Blog Raja. And Deepak will be talking about the website. And yeah, Deepak, stage is all yours now.
Yeah. So thanks, Nitin. So we will just go ahead and see what we have in this site. So basically, I had a look at the site, and there are a few things which I wanted to cover, which Craig already covered, and Jason also already covered, like site structure, site load speed, and things like that. So basically, I kind of shuffled some slides here. So what I will do is that I will go ahead and share my set of slides that I have prepared for this. Yep. So here we are. Hope you are able to see my screen and there are no issues. So what we are going to do is that we are just going to look at some top level search engine tactics and things which usually we forget to cover when we are just talking about the very technical part of the SEO. So instead of just getting into the technical part which Jason and Craig has already covered, I wanted to cover some high level search strategies which help in long term. So one of the search engine tactics or SEO mindset that I share is to think like Google. So basically, when you think like the search engines, and you will basically be able to make better decisions whether you want to do a certain tactic or you want to implement a certain thing on your site or not. So when you think like a search engine, when you think about what search engines want, search engine want to deliver good results for their users. Like for example, who uses Yahoo anymore? So Yahoo nobody uses because it doesn't give relevant and quality results anymore. So there are only two factors which control this entire search engine experience, and there are two things that search engines look for, and one is quality and one is relevancy. So these are the only two important things, and we don't talk about this too often in SEO. We get too deep and talking about technical things, but on the high level, it's just quality and relevancy. Someone is searching for top 10 laptops, want to get the most relevant, which is top 10 laptops and the highest quality result on the top. So even if there is a page which talks about top 10 mobile phones and it is of very high quality, nobody wants to see that because this person is searching for laptops. So relevancy is important. And at the same time, if there are 10 different pages talking about the laptops that are there in the market, which are the best ones, then the highest quality result has to be on the top, and that's when the search engine user gets the best experience out of using the search engine. So search engines would ideally want to, let's say if they had enough manpower, in an ideal imaginary situation, search engines could go ahead and manually review each and every page on the web for the quality and relevancy, and basically rank the highest relevant and highest quality result on the top for a particular keyword. But it is obvious that search engines don't have that kind of manpower, and That is why they rely on an algorithm or a system to basically determine which is the highest quality and which is the highest relevant result. Up signals. So signals are quality and relevancy signals. And there are two types of signals, which are one is sent by the users and one is sent by the webmasters. The user signals are mostly quality signals and predominantly quality, and they are sent by user behavior. Like for example, if someone is
Hey, Deepak,
sharing a page a lot,
sorry.
someone
Hello, Deepak. Sorry to interrupt you.
yeah.
Could you please go full screen mode?
They could, but sometimes full screen. Check if it displays.
No,
Is it okay?
No. It's not full screen
Yeah.
mode. No.
Usually, if you put full screen, it doesn't work. So one second.
Okay. Yeah, could you just zoom it out, because
Is it
some of the
good
systems
now?
are not able to say. A bit better.
One
Now
second.
I can see you, not the screen.
Yep. Is it good? Can see the screen?
Bit better, but some of us users are not able to see it properly. So that's why, if you can go full screen, that would be much better.
Let me check. Is it better now?
Yeah. Looks better
Or
now.
what I could do, I could just remove the navigator.
Yeah.
Slide only. So
Yeah, perfect.
this should
And
be
can
better.
you? Yeah, perfect. Yeah. That's full screen now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah. So so basically, we have two types of signals. One is sent by the users, and one signal is sent by the webmasters. The signals that webmasters sends are basically what we send to Google. So this is mostly on-page optimization and mostly relevancy signals, where we are telling Google that this is what our website is about, and we communicate to search engines that our website is about this particular topic by having things like alt tags, having things like keywords, title, and all those things. And when search engines are looking for quality signals, they are basically looking at the amount of backlinks the site has got, the amount of social shares the site has got, things like how much time is being spent on the site. Like for example, if you are searching for a keyword, and if someone is clicking on the page and then just hitting back immediately, search engines can obviously track that, right? So when they are tracking that, then search engines know that this page is not relevant, and then they have an incentive to put down this page. So these are some of the high level SEO things I always think about when I go ahead and do SEO for a site. So this is long term SEO. Is that we'll just go to the next slide. 1 second. Yes. So here we have blograja.com, and here there are a couple of things that I have noticed which needs to be changed. And the first thing that I feel about the entire site in terms of long-term SEO is that it has to have a specific focus. Search engines prefer specific websites than generic websites. You need to have a brand message and what does your site stand for. Generic sites which are like news websites or media sites which kind of cover every topic possible is not something that users want. It's not something that users go ahead and search for or even remember the brand. So everybody remembers something for someone, and that is the power of brand positioning, and that is the power of having category leadership. So search engines also give a weightage when a website has higher percentage of brand searches. Like for example, when someone wants to learn digital marketing in India, they would go ahead and search for Digital Deepak courses or Digital Deepak. So that way, the brand search, the percentage, if it is high, then Google knows that this is a stronger brand and this is a trustworthy brand. Because sites which are fly-by-night sites, which are like trying to scam the search engines to doing black hat SEO and things like that, what happens is that they don't develop a brand, and Google definitely gives more weightage to sites which have a better brand. So for me, if I look into my statistics, if I look into AdWords, if I look into Search Console, I can see that more than 10% of the search traffic which comes to my blog is from brand searches. So that has to be definitely there, which this site does not have. This site does not have a specific focus. It just says it's blog Raja and it's something about a blog, and there are so many topics inside it which confuses the search engines and as well as the users. So if you are user centric, you will automatically become search engine centric. And also we have to keep the website updated constantly. If rankings go down for a specific blog post or blog page, update it, and it would go up in the search engines easily. So here another very clear indication that this site is not focused on one topic. So here you can see if you just Google Blog Raja, you can see entertainment, food, reviews, technology, sports, Hollywood. So this is not like 1998 or 1999 where there is hardly any content online. Today we have authoritative websites for technology, authoritative websites for food and things like that. So these websites are easily going to rank better than Blog Raja. So Blog Raja has to go ahead and find out a specific niche. The site has to be updated frequently. Search engine spiders will visit your site more often and then update it on the search engine result pages when they find new content every time. So every time a search engine spider visits your site, give them something new so that they will start coming sooner and sooner. So earlier when I used to run a motorcycle blog, we used to update 3 to 4 articles every day. And we noticed that when we have such publishing frequency, usually what happens is that as soon as we publish an article, even without submitting it to the search engines, automatically what happens is that you will go ahead and start getting very good index time, where within 2 minutes the site would get indexed on the search engines. A site that is not updated for months will not get much search traffic or good rankings, and new page or page update at least every week is recommended at the minimum. So a simple way to check that is to go ahead and just put on site semicolon and the URL of the site. So here you can see I have put site semicolon blograja.com, and here if I go ahead and select past 24 hours, there is no change. Then I go ahead and see if there is any update in the past 1 week, then there is no change. Even in the past 1 month, there has not been any changes. So that way we need to keep updating at least every week so that we have good updates on the search. Also, I wanted to talk a little bit about readability on content. If it is easy to read, then it will result more time spent on the site, and it is definitely going to help in the SEO. So that way, have a clear content focus and have clear titles so that people read the title and then they read the first paragraph. They are more likely to read the entire content. It is best to have serif font with the right width and the right post width and the right line height. So there is something called golden ratio. So I'm sorry for this typo. So golden ratio basically helps you find out what is the right balance of font size, post width, and line height. So this balance basically helps you go ahead and have better readability. The users will have better readability. Like for example, in my blog, what I have made is that I have made it in such a way that the width of the post is not too long. So if the width of the post is too long, then users will find it difficult to come to the next line and continue reading. So readability gets affected. Encourage comments and interaction on the site. Add rich media content like interactive infographics, videos, slides. So all those content which I did not see in Blog Raja, I have added it as options here. So more rich content, embed a YouTube video, embed a SlideShare slide. That way you are basically giving better experience to the end users, and search engines are basically looking for signals which indicate this better experience for the users, which results in better SEO for the site. So obviously I'm not talking about site structure or any of the H1, H2 tags or any technical terms like that has been covered by Jason and Craig. So this is my perspective on search. I hope you liked it. So I will just switch off screen sharing right now, and if there are any questions, we will be able to take the questions as well.
Thank you so much, Deepak, for covering a lot. And a good part about your talk was you covered a lot of generic stuff, which would definitely help all the bloggers, not just Blog Raja, so all the WordPress bloggers, so that they can just take these tips and work on their blogs. So thank you so much for that. And now I would like to ask Craig or Jason if they have something to add for Blog Raja for our visitors.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of questions on the chat there that I was trying to answer as well. There's loads of different things that I could add here. On top of what Deepak was saying, I think bloggers have to make sure they're getting good quality relevant backlinks and stuff like that as well, which is a massive subject which there's no time to really cover just now. But look at everything that the guys have said. It doesn't matter whether it's a large e-commerce website or a small WordPress blog. The kind of methods are the same, just in a much larger scale with e-commerce. You know, all of these kind of technical things need to be fixed, and then you need to look at your backlinks. But you know, I think the guys covered pretty much what was required for bloggers, and you've just got to put time and effort in and hard graft. Nothing comes easy. You know, content is, you know, really, really important.
All right, thank you so much, Craig.
No worries.
And Jason, do you have anything to add here?
Not so much. So if I can see the website correctly, I mean it's built on WordPress. You know, I highly recommend that you install the Yoast SEO plugin. I just did a quick search on the code. I couldn't find it, so I highly recommend that, you know, BlockRager installs the Yoast SEO plugin. That's going to sort out all the technical issues for you quite easily. That was it for me.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, so now we have a few minutes to answer a couple of questions. So let's go to the questions. So our first question is Jitesh is asking, can we trust Alexa for measuring link like domain authority? And Jason, could you please answer that?
I haven't used Alexa rankings in years, so I think a better measure of how authoritative a website or a domain is to use Moz's domain authority, so DA, or link research tools, link domain power or domain trust, or even Majestic SEO's you know, trust flow or citation flow is a good metric to look at.
All right, thank you so much, Jason. So another question maybe you can answer. So Ankit is asking, how do we do SEO for a new website which has no traffic at all? So from the scratch.
Put in the hard work. Put in the hard work. So whatever Craig and Deepak mentioned, you got to put in the hard work. There's no turnkey solution to driving more traffic. It's all about good structure, good content, promotion of the content, good link building, and yeah, you know, a good way to start is look at Moz's Beginner's Guide to SEO. Read that back and front and back again, and then just apply whatever you read into your own website, and, you know, put in the hard work.
Cool, thank you so much, Jason. So we have a question from Amit for you, Jason, but I think we won't be able to answer that here. So I'll just recite the question, and then you can probably answer on Twitter or somewhere. So Amit is asking, Jason, could you please cover some international SEO tips which you left out from the slide? So I think international SEO is a big topic in itself, and it's not like I think we won't be able to cover it right now.
No,
so I'm
no,
sorry, Amit, but you can catch Jason or any one of us, our Twitter or LinkedIn. And then we have one question for Deepak. So Deepak is asking, so it's like Deepak asking Deepak that, what do you think about AMP? I think Deepak wants to know about AMP for WordPress blogs. So yeah, Deepak, if you could answer that.
Yeah, so so right now in terms of AMP, what I feel is that even though AMP definitely gives better load speed, you know, sometimes it definitely affects your brand, because with AMP there is very little amount of, you know, brand message that you can communicate with the design. So that way I would actually put more preference to having your own design and having your own brand than put your site on AMP. Facebook's instant articles platform gives a little bit more branding control than AMP. But so right now for my blog, I'm using Facebook instant articles, but I have not started using accelerated mobile pages yet. So, but although also some people say that it has given a boost in SEO. Some people say that there has not been any change. Obviously, there is no clear evidence that if you put AMP or search rankings is going to improve. As long as your mobile site is loading fast and it is efficient and it is optimized, cached, and if you have taken care of the basic SEO, then if you are going to put more importance to your brand, so if it is a micro site or a niche site, then you can put it on AMP. But if you are, you know, having a big brand, site, you know, better yourself rather than put it on the AMP platform.
All right, cool. Thank you so much, Deepak. And guys, I would highly recommend you to follow Nida Solid. She often shares a lot of interesting case studies about AMP for blogs and their websites. So I would highly recommend you to follow her. She's amazing. Yeah. All right. So now moving to the final round. I'm sorry we are not able to answer a lot of questions that you're asking, but thanks to Craig, who is super active on YouTube, and he's answering a lot of them. So the rest of the people who are asking the questions they're not answered there by Craig or here by us. So you can catch us on LinkedIn or Twitter. So you'll get to know about our preferred communication channel in a while with the final round. Okay, so in the final round, guys, we'll be talking about our key takeaways, like one key takeaway for the day. And then we'll be also talking about our preferred channel and a preferred communication channel where our visitors can reach us. So I'll start with Craig.
Sorry, I was busy answering a question there on the YouTube. I mean, the key takeaway here is, you have to look at the technical side of SEO and site speed. I think it's very much overlooked by a lot of people. Even if you've got the best content in the world and the best rankings in the world, if your website runs really bad, it's going to be a major problem. So I think, making sure that that aspect is looked at properly and taken seriously, because everything else is relatively easy, and you don't want to be putting all that time and effort in and working with some cheap rubbish server or a slow loading website. So definitely look at the site speed and the technical aspects of everything. That would be my one takeaway. Don't ignore it.
All right, thank you so much, Craig. And now I would like to request Deepak, if you could share your preferred communication channel and your key takeaway.
So as Jason also mentioned, about SEO is that if you start a brand new blog and if you start publishing content in it, even without doing any SEO at all, you will start seeing some search traffic trickle in, and that is a very good validation that the one thing that you can do to improve SEO is create more content and create more content that your users need. So Google, basically, I feel that it's Google's responsibility to bring out the best content for its users, and as their algorithm keeps improving and improving over time, they will make sure that they are giving the best content to your users. So you as a blogger or content creator, of course, SEO is important, but even before that, understanding the needs of the audience and then delivering what they need in terms of content is something that has to be central. And then even if you don't do SEO properly, Google will definitely know that this is something that your audience likes. They are backlinking it, they are sharing it, they are spending a lot of time on their site, and your search traffic will automatically go up.
Thank you so much, Deepak. And now moving to the last but not the least guest of the day, or afternoon, of evening, whatever. It's Jason.
So yeah, just to reiterate what Craig has mentioned, so having good foundations from a technical and look and feel and UX design of the website makes a big difference. So I'm all about keyword research and good information architecture on a website. I think you get those foundations right. Getting links, putting more content, concentrating on everything else, it comes second nature. So that's my key giveaway or takeaway, if you like. And if you want to ask me any more questions, you can hit me up on Twitter right there, and I'll envisage to answer your questions.
Well, thank you so much, Jason. So that's it from us, guys. It was a great session with you. And thank you so much for asking so many questions. We really enjoyed answering the questions, and the response from you was really great. Thank you so much once again. Namaste, India. Have a good day.